So what was determined was that tobacco was the leading cause of death for people who'd been recently treated for alcoholism. So you're more likely to die from tobacco than you were from a relapse on alcohol. Do you recognize this guy? Anyone want to shout out who he is? Right. So Bill W. died of tobacco-related illnesses. What about this guy? Anyone want to shout it out?
Dr. Bob.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Bob also died of tobacco-related illness. So myth number 3, they're really separate issues. One study found that smoking increased urges to use. Severity of tobacco use predicted poor treatment outcomes. There were significantly better recovery rates for people who were non-tobacco users. Tobacco use can harm recovery and trigger other substance use. So we're still firing that part of our brain where our addiction lives. And the more that we trigger that, the more that it has cravings for other substances as well. And continued use of tobacco products impairs recovery. So people who use tobacco are less likely to be successful in recovery than people who don't. This comes from the University of California. After 1 month of sobriety, recovering alcoholics who smoked showed significantly less improvement than those who did not smoke in both brain function and neurochemical markers of brain cell health. So if brain function and brain cell health are things that are important to you, that might be something you want to take a look at. All right, myth number 4, one thing at a time. So we hear this one a lot. I'm really focused on all these other things right now. It's not something I need to address. To me, this is similar to saying if I come into treatment and I've been using heroin, it's similar to saying I'm going to address my heroin use right now, but I'm not going to worry about my drinking, or I'm not going to address my marijuana use or my cocaine use right now because one thing at a time. Like, we would never say that in those circumstances, but we tend to compartmentalize tobacco use into something separate than our other addiction. So for people who quit smoking, they were significantly more likely to stay abstinent post-treatment. This is really important. So in one study it was 93% versus 62%. In another study it was 48% versus 14%. But in general, if you treat your tobacco dependence at the same time that you treat your other addiction, you're more likely to stay sober and abstinent from everything. So again, the truth here is that addressing your tobacco use now can improve your overall chances of recovery. And honestly, one thing I think about is a lot of recovery is just trying to stack the deck in your favor and do the most number of things that you can do so that you're most likely to be successful in recovery. And if quitting smoking is something that can help you be